Welcome, listener, to Right Here, Right Queer. I'm Sebastian Nothwell, joined today by Nik Kirimizi. Nik is the author of the fantasy novels Bounds of the Forest and of Indomitable Desire, and we're so excited to have you on board. Hello!
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, which of your books are you most excited to talk about today, and why?
So, I hope this isn't too out of pocket, but I was hoping to talk about the book I have coming out in a month, actually.
Oh, do tell.
So, I have a book that I've been working on called Tales of the Tea Shop. It is the largest work I've ever created, and it will be the first of a two-book series because I couldn't fit everything into one.
So, what about this makes it such a big undertaking?
So, Tales of the Tea Shop incorporates a lot of things, not just about society, but it brings about a lot of political questions. So, I'm a history major and I have my bachelor's, my associates. I'm actually getting my master's in history as we speak. And I got the chance to world build and utilize what I learned through all my classes, all my years of school, and create sort of a society that runs on magic. It's just a modern fantasy setting that runs on magic. And the biggest thing is everyone's ashamed of it. Affinities are something that most people find to be shameful, that most people actually do get removed. So I wanted to highlight some of the undertones of it. Magic in this case are affinities, and affinities can be anything, and I mean absolutely anything. In my book, it can be something that's considered an illness. It can be something that can push you along in life. It can be your vice. It can be your virtue. It can be your blessing. It can be your curse.
There's a lot of ways to categorize this,
Yeah.
and it depends on the individual and the culture in question.
Yes, kind of like how we view our skills and our illnesses.
I do have to say, I did perk up quite a bit when you said history major getting a master's in it, because, I do love historically informed world building, I have to say, in a fantasy setting.
Being able to world build based off of history that I've studied like my entire life. One of my favorite examples is two nations that historically don't like each other, or two nations that have historically always allied with each other. I got to utilize in how I based the nations and the clan system in Tales of the Tea Shop.
Very cool. Now, where does the titular tea shop come into play?
The tea shop is the starting point and it is the end point. The tea shop is where the main character first starts out at. You learn a small amount about them every chapter, why they own a tea shop, why they run it, why they chose a tea shop, things like that.
Very excited to learn more. Do you have a favorite character that you've created?
I was looking at that question and I was wondering to myself how to answer because I put so much into every single one of these characters, especially my two main characters, but I guess I'll highlight Osiris for this one because a lot of his mental illnesses I actually did base off of my own, and I wanted to highlight a strong male main character who could also have issues and still be successful too. That was one of my core characteristics when making Osiris, was that he could be somebody who's strong no matter what ails him. And he's somebody who loves his affinity, whether others see it as a fault or a virtue, either or. He doesn't care, and he's outward about how much he doesn't care. He'll use it in public if he feels like it, even though he's anxious to high hell. It's actually really, it's impressive. He is an impressive character, just how he is, that's all.
Sounds somewhat aspirational as well.
Yeah, he kind of wrote himself, you know?
So many wonderful characters do. So what drew you to your subgenres?
So fantasy as a whole, I just love the idea of world building. Once again, this is my history nerd coming out. I love the idea of seeing kingdoms and even modern fantasy settings where you just have these nations, you have these factions, and how they function with one another and how realistic the dynamics are. I think that's really impressive. And just to incorporate magic, I've always loved magic as a concept. I always think it's really cool. Especially it never waned on me. Like as a child, I thought it was cool. I equally still find it cool as a 27-year-old. And as for romance, I just think love is nice. I love the ability to see different relationships highlighted. That's actually what I want to accomplish as an author, especially as a non-binary author. I want to showcase that everyone deserves to be loved no matter who they are. I've always made that like my full point as a writer. Whether it's my original work, even when I was younger, it was fan fiction, it's everything. I've always just loved the idea of showing that everyone deserves to be loved.
Fantastic. What stories have inspired you?
Now, to bring out the big dweeb here, one of my favorite series growing up was the House of Night series, the little vampire series by PC Cast. Reading that when I was like 12, 13 actually made me really badly want to be a writer. And I don't know if it was the way she wrote, I don't know if it was the concepts she had. PC Cast was like one of my favorite authors, and believe it or not, she still writes books to this day, which I think is really impressive. And when I was 13, I actually messaged the Facebook page of PC Cast asking what I could do to be a better writer. I actually found the screenshot, like I found the message recently.
Oh my gosh.
And I did get a response. It was just like a link to like basic writing structures and stuff, but I still clicked the link. I still read that.
Yeah.
And I ended up where I am today. I took all of that seriously and I practiced, and here I am.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. What are some themes that you like to explore or revisit in your writing?
For themes, I tend to go towards a lot of political. Political seems to be something I've been stuck on a little bit more recently, and how characters move forward from there. I guess the perseverance of a character, and also how to live outside of everything bad that's happening, how to thrive within it, especially. That's what makes Tales of the Tea Shop, because it picks up on a lot of similar themes to what's going on around us. Uncertainty, hiding away bits and pieces of you. It's actually kind of incredible to see in a story and in real life, watching everybody persevere and fight through. I love seeing that no matter what goes on above us, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep existing. We're gonna keep fighting back. That's all it's about. You know?
Absolutely. What drives your storytelling and motivates you to write?
My biggest motivation for writing is that it kind of calms me down. I have a lot of anxiety. That's okay. It's not something to be ashamed about, and I found that writing kind of kept me calm and collected. It's just been a consistency in my life. I've done it my entire life. Like, I've been writing since I was 10 years old. Started out as Legend of Zelda fanfiction, funny enough.
As so many of us did.
Exactly. For drive of storytelling, as an author, I like to be kind of on the sideline while characters kind of tell me where they want to go. So the drive in there is just how these characters want to take things. And I think I kind of love that. I feel like I'm not the one driving the car, somebody else is, and I'm in the passenger seat scribbling away while I'm staring at them.
Characters take the wheel.
Characters always take the wheel, and I think that's the best way to do it.
What do you hope to accomplish with your stories?
One of my biggest goals is to highlight as many kinds of relationships as possible, dynamics, and the ability to show everyone that they deserve to be loved for who they are. They don't have to change or hide themselves or any part of themselves for anybody. That's always been huge to me.
Absolutely. What's the number one thing you want readers to take away from your books?
When I read this one, I was a little like, I never considered that, actually. I'm sorry. But if I wanted someone who read my work to take away anything, it's that anything is possible. I know that sounds really general, but I mean that, you have control over a lot more than you might think. You don't have to do things a certain way just because everyone else does them. You deserve to be the person you are without having to water yourself down or anything.
Co-signed. And what advice do you have for aspiring authors?
Write the cringy thing.
Yes.
Write the cringe. Be cringe, be free. I'm not even joking. Don't fixate on what do others want to read. Write what you want to write. You will find an audience. There's an audience for everything. There really is. And it's practice, it's dedication. In order for me to practice writing, I had a period of my life where I had 4 jobs because I couldn't find full-time anywhere. So I was just running around left and right at different places. And one of those was I was waitressing. So the little notepad that they give us to like write down orders.
Oh.
I would write in those.
Yes.
I actually had pieces of Tales of the Tea Shop in those.
Yes.
And she doesn't know this, but one of the people that was working there would like let me hide out in the kitchen during downtime to write some more, and she ended up being a character in Tales of the Tea Shop.
Oh,
She's gonna find out later.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Or when I was at Market Basket, especially if I was in checkout, I would yank out receipt paper and I would just start writing on that. I actually have a box full of all these pieces of papers, like receipt papers from different jobs. I did it at the gas station too. I would yank off pieces of paper and I would just scribble on those.
Fantastic.
And the best part is, I work in a financial area, like I work in a finance place, and I still use their receipts to write sometimes because I don't have my notebook. I evolved. I finally bought a notebook at some point, but
Boss makes $1, you make a dime. That's why you write on company time.
exactly. But yeah, persistence and dedication. If there's a will, there's a way.
100%.
Another good piece of advice, and this one actually came from my sister, funny enough, who's not a writer. She's an avid reader though, so I'll take the advice. She always told me to read in my genre that I'm looking to write. That helps a lot. That helps immensely, actually. You just understand your genre more.
It does put you more in conversation with your peers as well. I feel like you can always tell whenever someone who doesn't read a genre has decided that they're going to write the book that fixes the genre.
Yeah.
Because they're responding to problems that other authors in the genre responded to decades earlier.
Yep.
And they don't understand how everyone's moved so far past that point.
Is it bad that I'm thinking about someone right now? Oh no. Oh God.
I mean, you know.
Oof.
I feel like it happens over and over again. There's always someone who thinks they don't need to study before they ace the test.
Yeah. Keeps things interesting though, you know. You read it and then you're like, oh goodness, what's happening right now?
It's like, oh no, you're confused and lost. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Where can people find you if they want to read more about you and your books?
So I'm on Blue Sky. That one's fairly new. That and Instagram. I'm still on Facebook somehow. And for the most part, my books, they're available on Amazon. I am currently working on getting them uploaded to Ingram. I know my latest book, Of Indomitable Desire, is on Ingram, available in both ebook and paperback, while the rest are kind of a work in progress right now.
Would Blue Sky and Instagram be the places to follow you for updates on where your books may appear in the future?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was delightful. And for our listeners, we will have more interviews and roundtables ready for you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.